All right, guys, welcome back to another video. I was laying in bed. I get two meals from you guys, from Eric and Kai, and they both sent me the same video. I'm like, what the heck is this? Plane crash, emergency landing, and collision on runway? I've probably seen this before. And I'm like, oh, this is from a day ago. I watched this video. My head was spinning. My head was spinning. I cannot believe what I just saw. I'm going to play this video, and we're going to talk about it. Trust me.
All right.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, right? You see why I got up and made this video? Because it's so absurd. It almost doesn't even feel real. It feels AI generated. I'm going to say it. This feels AI generated. There's no way. The ADM that was demonstrated in this is going to be one of those videos that when you show up for an ADM class or a college class, this video, assuming it's not deleted, which it won't be, trust me, is going to be shown to all students for the next 50 years. Because there's so much you can take away from this. First of all, the electrical system was 100% out, okay? But this poor guy in the right seat said that this skilled pilot, the guy in the left seat who landed the plane. He said, fortunately, our skilled pilot was able to set us down. However, with no way to communicate, the pilot ahead was unaware of our presence and stopped fast to make a left turn on the tarmac. With our flaps not operational, we couldn't slow fast enough and plowed into this plane as he turned. The prop tore a hole in the left side of the fuselage, destroyed the side of his aircraft. Thankfully, he had no passengers in the back seat, or it would have been fatal. 100% agree, because you hit him going 50 miles per hour. In our aircraft, the impact was devastating, with the aluminum crumpling and glass exploding everywhere. My shoulder pushed through the window and I sustained slight injuries, but thankfully everything was okay, but the two planes were totaled. That's what he says, the guy in the right seat, the guy who posted this video, which, by the way, the FAA is going to eat this video up, the NTSB, the insurance company is Blanco. Pilot Debrief, pretty much every aviation commentator you can possibly think of is going to be all over this within the next week. I promise you, you're going to see this video everywhere. So the electrical system, yes, you don't have a GPS. Sure, that's not an emergency situation. I hope to God it's not an emergency situation for you if your GPS goes out. We've seen that with that guy on the iPad, right? His iPad went out and he declared an emergency. I know it's not GPS. I'm just comparing. It's the absurdity of the two is similar. Okay, your radios went out. You're probably at an untowered airport, so you don't even need radios. Your transponder's out. Okay, you don't need that either. What else? Your flaps. Okay, this right here, you see this guy on final? I can sit here and I can ask one of my 5-hour students right now. So-and-so, if you saw this guy on final and you were coming in hot and he was about to touch down and you were 200 feet behind him, what would you do? That 5-hour student would say go around. And I'm like, you had an engine. Why would you not do a go around? You could have flown around for another 3 hours and been completely fine. This was a go around. And then if it wasn't a go around, you have grass strips anywhere. Right here, just anywhere but on this poor guy's back. Okay, and you could have done a crappy soft field at most and maybe prop striked and bounced and ruined your plane, but at least you're not going to almost kill someone. So like, what are you thinking, my guy? What are you thinking? And who are you? In the left seat, I'm like, I'm sorry to rip into this guy, but sometimes the insaneness of these situations, I'm like, you deserve it. And I'm sure this guy's at home beating himself up, especially after he sees like these videos. But I mean, this is getting ridiculous. This is just giving us a bad name at this point. Like, honestly, this just looks so bad. I promise you guys, this is not the standard for pilots. And I don't think anyone would think it is. But and I was looking at his instruments and, okay, quick little quiz here for you guys. What instruments are attached to the electrical system? Not very many. Like I said, electronics, the GPS, transponder, radio. pitot heat, like a miniature airplane, all attached to electrical system, but you still have your attitude indicator, your heading indicator, your VSI, RPM gauge, you have your airspeed, you have your altimeter. Like, this is all good to go. You got a fully functioning aircraft, fully functioning. So why this wasn't a go around, I don't know. And I'm going to lay in bed tonight and have nightmares about this because it was just so, I can't believe what I just watched. I can't believe what I just watched. And there's a part of me, my inner cynic comic, that thinks that this is hilarious. But I'm also like, once you start thinking about it for more than 2 seconds, like, the guy got his plane totaled and then almost died. The guy that was ahead of this so-called pilot. He almost died and he lost his plane. And people, their planes, they're not just like investments, they're possession, like they are a part of the pilot. So this guy that totaled his airplane, like, you took away, I'm assuming, a prized possession. Most of the time it's a prized possession. So it's really just a tragedy at the end of the day. And the fact that no one got injured is a miracle. Because if this pilot in the left seat killed someone, you're going to jail, buddy. You're going to jail, and you're going to be in jail for a long time for manslaughter. Because this is just negligence. This is just shockingly stupid. But yeah, here's the thing. Go up with your flight instructor and practice a no-flap landing. They're not that bad. Practice landing with 0-degree flaps, 10 degrees, 20 degrees, abnormalities, okay? Because it's not when your flaps, or sorry, it's not if your flaps go out, it's when. It will happen. You'll have a flap malfunction at some point where they won't fully go up or down, or just weird stuff happens. I promise you, it's happened to me once already, right? And practice a no flap landing. I take all my students up once I get a little bit more experience, and we practice landing without flaps, because if they ever lost their flaps, you need to know what that feels like in the airplane. And this clearly, either the pilot on the left, like, never even thought. I mean, doing a go around wasn't even in his mind. Didn't cross his mind for a second. And then people were saying in the comments that he was doing S turns right here. That he was doing S turns to try to dodge the guy, but he wasn't trying to dodge the guy right here by doing these S turns. He was trying to bleed off airspeed, because you use airspeed, those S turns, to kind of slow you down if you do them correctly. So he wasn't trying to dodge him. But yeah, I feel really bad for that guy up front. But this is going viral. There's no way. This video, I'm calling it right now. This video is going to be deleted, and this is going viral. And it already is going viral. So I'll just read a couple comments here. So the altimeter is working, speedometer is working, engine is working, the weather is clear. Yeah, it's a perfectly VFR day. And your option was to land on another plane. Fantastic job. This is terrible. Literally, one of the first things you learn about aircraft systems, which I said, with magnetos, is that it will run if the electronics go out. That is not emergency VMC. Yeah, and it maybe, like, I was trying to rationalize this guy's decision. I'm like, okay, maybe electrical system went out, and I'm like thinking in my head, troubleshooting. I'm like, did he have an electrical fire? Like, did he have an electrical in-flight fire? Because then I could understand the emergency descent. I still don't understand landing on top of someone, but my brain is trying to help this guy out. You know what I mean? Quote, skilled pilot almost got you killed for no reason. FAA is going to suspend his cert and send him back for training. No, dude, they're not going to suspend his cert. They are taking away his cert, I bet you, and he's not going back to training. Unless he's some stud that just had like a major accident. I don't know, but I mean, would you give this guy his cert back? I don't know. I would not. Pilot Debrief is going to have a field day with this one. See, I called it. It's already going to happen. It's going to be a pretty interesting moment when the FAA asks you, quote, so your engine is working, primary flight controls are working. Yeah, that's the thing. All of his flight controls are working. Why did you not go around when you saw another plane on the runway? And I'm like, okay, maybe we're missing some information. Benefit of the doubt. R Flake 1 has no idea what was actually happening, because he's just speculating, right? He just said work with no working instruments. He doesn't know, and he just interpreted it that way. And I don't know, maybe there's more going on to this story. We'll find out. But as of right now, this ain't looking too good. Like I said, real doozy, real stinker. I'm sorry you guys had to watch this before bed, or if you're just waking up, I hope you ate breakfast first. Okay, I'm going to bed. See ya.